Welcome to CLIC Connect. We are back, season 7, episode 1. You couldn't keep producer Dani and I away. So really excited about this season. We've got all new guests for you. We've got some specials coming up as well, but we'll talk about that another time. I would like to thank our production partners on this show, and that is our good friends at Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Title National Commercial Services Group, California. If you're looking for a new franchise, call our friends at Red Roof. If you're looking to get your real estate transactions closed on time with great service, call our friends over at Chicago Title National Commercial Services Group. They would both love to hear from you, and let them know that producer Dani and I sent you. Okay? Thank you. Okay, that's enough jibber jabber. Let's get the show going. We've got Adele Gutman. She is a top 25 extraordinary mind. She is USA top 50 influential leader in hospitality 2021. Host of Get Great Guest Reviews, top 30 hospitality podcast, speaker, team performance optimizer. She will inspire you and your guests to get 5-star reviews. So with no further ado, let's welcome Adele to the show.
What a fun. Thank you so much. What a fun introduction.
I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. Adele, let's get right into it. You know, there's some snarky people out there. How do you get good to great guest reviews?
Well, the first thing you need to do is love your customers, because you know what? If you don't love them, respect them, appreciate the fact that they chose to stay with you and not at your competitors. Well, if you're not showing that that caring to that guest, they're not going to care about you, and they're not going to care about you during the stay or afterwards when it comes time to refer their friends to come back again. And you know what? Those reviews, those referrals, and those return visits are the best way to make your business thrive. So get everybody's heart in the right place when it comes to receiving those guests.
Nice. Now, I'm also assuming that you're talking with and working with the on-site team at the hotel and get them to buy into this so that they understand the importance of welcoming a guest. We are in the people business. We need to welcome them. You know, it's our responsibility to bring them in, to give them a good place to stay, to feel safe, secure, and a good night's sleep. So what's that like talking to the teams?
Without a doubt. You know what? I formerly was the vice president of sales, marketing, and revenue for the Library Hotel Collection in New York. I was with them for 20 years up until COVID. And that happens to be the first year when I started with them, 2020, the year that TripAdvisor was born. And within a short period of time, I could really feel the difference and the impact of how putting those good reviews out there was drawing people to our hotel. And the harder that we all worked as a team to say, you know, let's see what we can do to make sure every single guest feels cared for, appreciated, and respected. You know, that was a real learning process that took us years to master. But within a few years, we were out of 4 hotels in Manhattan, the number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 hotels in a row on TripAdvisor. And you know what? I really started with the core team, the leadership team, because if you coach the leaders, I find that they do an even better job than I ever could in inspiring their teams. They need to know how to do it. If I speak directly to the team when I go away, that source of strength goes away. So it's much more important to show the leadership team the difference between being a leader and being a manager.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. It does start at the top and work its way down. As much as I dislike that phrase, it's accurate. I mean, everybody, whether it's the engineer on site, housekeeping, everybody, your DOS, your GM, your AGM, your doorman, everybody's got to be on that page and be, welcoming the guests, especially right now. I mean, we've had a revenge vacation tour like none other in my career. And I know that a lot of the reviews that I'm seeing is they're understaffed, didn't meet expectations. Now, I think bad comments are actually a gift because that'll give you something to work on, providing it is a bad comment and not the snarky, I'm just trying to get a comped room for one night out of my 5-night stay or something. So how do you treat that bad guest review? Do you have the team engage with them on one of the platforms? Do you bring it up at team meetings? How do you deal with that and you try and win that guest back over to be what I refer to as a raving fan? I think every hotel, every business needs raving fans.
Without a doubt. It is the most economical way to have a thriving business, right? It is so much more affordable to keep the business that you have rather than trying to find new business. It's exhausting as someone who was a salesperson and was a marketer. To constantly find new business to replace the business you lost is crazy. It's much better to make sure everything goes great during that stay so that you'll get all those referrals coming back. So how do I take a good review? Well, or a bad review, I should say. It is a gift. It is telling you exactly what you need to know. But so often as managers of hotels or employees of hotels, it's tough to take the feedback sometimes. So you really have to de-stress the situation and teach your team and yourself how to listen past the emotions that may go with, oh, you ruined my stay. And because then you'll say, oh, that's just gibberish and I don't really need to listen to it. And I have lots of other happy customers. No, instead, take a moment and really think about, well, what is this review going to teach me? What is this shining a light on that is an opportunity for innovation and creativity? And always, always collaborate with the team. Don't try to get great reviews from the executive office desk because then your team isn't learning anything. You need them to be superheroes, right? So unless everybody has skin in the game, they're not going to feel how important it is to take care of things on the spot. You just mentioned to me, or to us all, that people just go right to getting a free night. I was just offered a free night and I wrote about it recently. And believe me, I didn't ask for a free night. I didn't want a free night. And I mean, it was nice of them to give it. And of course, I'm going to accept it. But it didn't make me respect the company anymore. What really would have made me respect the company and make me feel taken care of is if they said, you really have a point there. And, this is what we're going to do to make sure that doesn't happen again, not to you or to anybody else. And then I'll say, wow, that's a really mature way to look at it. And that makes me feel that when I come back again, they're really on top of things. They're really looking into the root cause and seeing what they can do to communicate better. Because I say communicate better because half the time it's a communication issue more than a product issue, more than even a process issue. Yeah. Although it could be any of those things.
It could be, but I agree with you. And, I don't know if it's because the on-site teams are feeling so beat up right now where they just go, here, we'll give you a discount or a comp. I think true. Vast majority of the time, I just want somebody to listen to me. What am I telling you about my experience? good, bad, or indifferent. And if you're listening to me, that's half the battle right there. And a lot of times they'll, before I've even finished, they'll maybe say, "Oh, I'm really sorry about that, sir. Let me make this right for you," whatever they want to do. If they want to buy me breakfast or a cocktail, they don't always have to go right to the comp night. And right now with every hotel globally, we shouldn't be doing that. I mean, that's one of those things where, hey, we had 2.5, almost 3 years of no income. So don't do that.
Yeah. But you hit such a good point. People are frustrated. Your line staff are kind of in pain right now.
Yeah.
And the most important thing that you can do for them, even if it wasn't making things better for the guests, focusing them on how to be people pleasers, how to solve problems, actually listen to what the problem is.
Yeah.
And not just, oh, well, I can move you to another room. Just how can I fix that problem in the easiest way for you so that you can go on and have a happy day and not and not fail to show some compassion. I'm really sorry that happened to you. That really shouldn't happen. I'm going to talk to the manager to see how we can make sure that isn't happening again. And let me see what I can do to take care of you now. But we're also going to see what we can do to prevent it in the future. That thinking, it doesn't seem like it would be important to the individual person, but it makes you feel you're in good hands of people who really care. If you're just saying, well, here's a free breakfast, you're trying to shut down the conversation rather than trying to fix the problem. And believe me, guests see through that. And that's true when you're writing a response to a guest that has made a complaint. If you're just, well, thank you for letting us know. I'm sorry that happened to you. I hope you'll come back again in the future. But why would I come back in the future? You haven't told me how you've taken my feedback and made it into a change that will make it a better experience in the future.
They're looking beyond to the next guest that's checking out, or they're not dealing with the problem and they're just trying to shuffle along. And that's always the worst thing. I agree with you.
And I really just want to point out that I'm not just saying this. Our company had the highest guest satisfaction rating of any luxury hotel brand in the world, above all those fancy brands that you and I love, Four Seasons, Mandarin Oriental, Belmont, all of those. And we had higher. And that's because people, they do really respond to genuine concern. If you're earnest in your response, like a human being speaking to a human being. You know what? I just went to a hotel this weekend in Hilton Head. Wonderful experience in terms of the text messaging they did. It was probably automated, but it sounded so personal, so happy to see us, so thrilled that we're there, so ready to do anything with us. But they used that tool and put human emotion behind it. A thinking, caring person delivered that hospitality using technology. Those two things together, humanity and technology, it's such a winning combo. We have a great opportunity ahead. We should all be doing better.
I agree. Now, I think this is a subject that I want to touch on with you that hasn't been explored enough. And I'm thinking there's also not a complete understanding. I think online reputation is critical. How do you manage online reputation? And then is the second half of that question, how do you fix it if you've got some problems?
Well, I'll tell you what. There is a TripAdvisor has a list of the top 25 restaurants, top 25 hotels in the country, whether it's this country or another country. But we have in the United States the TripAdvisor top 25 list, the best of the best awards. And there's a few hotels that have been on that list many years. One has been on that list. It's the Oxford, I think is it Bend, Oregon? But that hotel has been on that top 25 in the entire United States of America for 10 years. They know what they're doing regarding reputation. Are they focusing on the responses to the reviews? They're not. They're focusing on actually being the hotel that inspires great reviews. They actually listen to the problems when people say them, and they say with their team, hey, this person had this problem. This is the surface problem, but what's really at the root of why this came up? Is it really that we don't have this service, or is it that we implied that we did and then we didn't really deliver completely on our brand promises? And they look at those things, and that's what they focus on. A lot of people think a polite and professional online response is going to change their reputation, but it's not. Those are just words. Actions change your reputation. And the first action is sharing the why with your team. Hey, team, I know that you guys are the sweetest, nicest, kindest people in the planet. There isn't one of you guys that I don't care about and think is great. I know that you care about the guests so much. So let's be sure that we share that inner you, be that Craig, that Adele, that brings the hospitality to that customer every single time they come in the hotel. When I look at that customer, my eyes should light up with delight that they are in front of me right now. And I want to make them feel it. And when they tell me they have a problem, I'm going to fix it while they're in the hotel.
There you go.
So they feel so cared for. And that's really the essence of how to be on the top 25. How many hotels are there in the country, Craig? You know better than I.
More than I can count. So
90,000. I've heard speculated. I'm sure. But so to make the top 25 for 10 years, it's not just the written response. But when you are doing the written response, do it with compassion and be real.
Absolutely. So, last question. Tell the audience, please, about your podcast.
Well, first of all, the important thing you want to know about the podcast is it's free. I am giving it away every single day, telling you exactly how to inspire great reviews, how to help empower your team with the tools and the training they need and the inspiration they need in order to be a magnet for new customers and keep your customers for longer and have them come back with all their friends and get upgraded experiences. It's free. You can do that. But if you want to learn how to implement those things with a guiding hand that's done it before, we had the highest guest satisfaction in the world according to Review Pro. We had the #1 hotel in the world according to TripAdvisor when it comes to great guest reviews. I know exactly how to make it happen, and I can teach you how to do it either through the podcast or speaking to your conference or actually guiding your general managers through implementation. And it makes work a joy when guests are coming to you to say, thank you, thank you, thank you, instead of complaining. It makes it a joy for your staff too, and they'll stay longer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Adele, it's time for our lightning round. Producer Dani's going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Word association. First thing that pops into your head, starting now. U.S. Airlines.
U.S. Airlines. I like them as long as they take me where I want to go. I like them all.
Travel.
Yes, please. Can I go to Africa right now?
Conferences.
Oh, yes. I love conferences. They are so refreshing. Let's have more. I can't wait to go to the next one.
Tech.
Yes, please. Tech empowers people who are motivated to make people happy.
Bad review.
It's a gift. It is your customer telling you what you need to do to make more guests happy in the future.
Uber or rental car?
I'm a Lyft girl.
Favorite airport?
What's that?
Favorite airport?
Singapore. Singapore. Right. Yeah.
Aisle or window?
Aisle, definitely.
Tequila or whiskey?
Tequila.
Nice.
I lived 10 years in Texas.
Yeah. Favorite hotel or resort?
Oh, the Giraffe Manor in Nairobi.
Wow. And you did that with 37 seconds left on the clock.
I can add a few other favorite hotels.
No, that's good. That's good. Adele, this has been so much fun with you. Yeah, I bet you can name quite a few more hotels that not only in the United States, but globally. So let's pick a 5-star resort that most people haven't gone to that you have, and tell us about your experience there.
Well, I did mention Africa before, and in Masai Mara, there's an And Beyond resort there, a safari lodge. It is just so amazing. Remember when I spoke before about sparkling that from your eyes, that love and attention and your joy in seeing your guests? I feel like every single person there was just trying to see how they could surprise and delight us and just make us feel so embraced. And being in nature with all of those beautiful animals, I assure you that every place that I've been in Africa, but that one really hits a very warm spot for me. The level of hospitality is unbelievable. They truly are grateful for the guests are bringing not only a change for their people who work in their hotel, but it impacts the lives of hundreds and hundreds of people beyond that from the economy, the impact on the economy. So it's such a good thing to do, to travel, and just makes the world a little closer and makes everybody more loving of each other. So we should do it more.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree. Adele, this has been an absolute pleasure. You've got an open invitation to come back anytime you want to.
Thank you so much.
Shameless plug. Tell the audience how they can get a hold of you, where they can find the podcast, and all of that.
Well, go to LinkedIn and meet me there, or visit adelegutman.com, and you'll see my podcast and blog. And any way I can help. You know what? I love speaking to people about this. I just think it's so important, and it's such a missed opportunity. I feel a lot of people put reputation as a footnote at the bottom of a sales and marketing plan, when really it supports your success in everything you do. Makes everything in life so much easier, especially maintaining and attracting new talent to your hotel. So important.
Very true. Very true. Thank you again for joining us, Adele.
Thank you so much, Craig. It was a joy to be here.
Bye. Thank you, our audience. That's it. The first show's in the can. This season is going to be super exciting. This is just the beginning. And I got to tell you, having Adele Gutman on our first episode, season 7, was absolutely a pleasure. And I can't wait to have her back again. And I want to thank you, our audience, for joining us. Please follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, smash the bell for updates. We're also on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find us in all those locations. And I would be very remiss if I did not thank our production partners, Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Title's National Commercial Services Group, California. Now, maybe California's in their title, but they work all over the country, and they've got a great team. You need to believe that. I've used them. They're great. And also our friends over at Red Roof. Hey, it's more than Red Roof. Red Roof Plus. They've got an extended stay brand you should take a look at. They've also got a soft brand. So if you've got a boutique that needs, a little bit more to it, you might give them a call. I think they're a great alternative for everybody. So give our friends a call and let them know that producer Dani and I sent you. And as I am very, very, very fond of saying, be kind, share your knowledge. Now go be amazing.